D.F.A is finally dropping, and it's dropping in its adept perfected form. And even though everybody thinks that D.F.A is not a good hand cannon, I can promise you with that right roll, that perpetual motion, timed payload roll, this thing is gonna be nasty. Trust me, fellas, we're gonna be grinding day and night to get the 5 out of 5 God roll for this thing, and you'll be seeing a review from us. With that being said, we're gonna talk about this week's Grandmaster Nightfall Insight Terminus, how to speed run it, and how to get to that sub 10-minute mark. I think our best run was somewhere around like that 8.5-minute mark, which by the way is miles better than what we used to do in previous seasons. I remember way back, hell, 13 minutes was a fantastic time for this Nightfall. So if you can get this thing down to sub 10 minutes, that's quite the feat. Now the modifiers for this week is Scorched Earth, which by the way is extremely annoying against Cabal, especially with those sticky grenades. Champions you're going to be facing include Barrier and Unstoppable champions. You also have your normal Grandmaster modifiers, and your shielded foes include Arc and Void shields, although spec everything for Void guys because Acute Void Burn is this week with that 25% increase in Void damage being dealt, but 50% Void damage being received, which is extremely annoying with the boss. If you see Void icky on the ground, fellas, don't step in it. You will die, even inside of a well. Now, some things to really be rocking this week, and pretty much always in Grandmaster content, is of course max resilience, and you definitely want to be taking advantage of Armor of the Dying Star, maybe even 2 of those, to reduce that incoming solar and void damage. This is extremely beneficial in this Nightfall, and that's pretty much general whether you're rocking Warlock, Titan, or Hunter. Now, the weapon choices that we chose, we found that in the boss room, originally linears were just too tough for us. Landing crits while so much is happening in front of us, I mean, all these ads are pouring out, it was just difficult. So we actually ended up swapping over to Gallahorn, or one of us using Gallahorn, which was me, and then Bombad and Les were using Void Rockets. Bombad was rocking Red Herring, Les was rocking Royal Entry. Both of these rockets are doing increased damage because it is a Void Burn, and they're also taking advantage of the Wolfpack rounds being created by Gallahorn for them. This allowed for much faster DPS here on the boss and more ease of use, which was the main thing. On top of that, considering the splash damage from these rockets and all these ads that are grouped up close to the boss, it would do that splash damage and kill those ads as well. Other weapons we were using, of course, considering we're dealing with barrier champions, Bombad was actually rocking Arbalest, which poops all over elemental shields, as well as champions, and he was actually pairing it with the artifact mod Revitalizing Blast. And essentially what would happen is every time he would instantly stun a champion, this would do substantial amounts of damage from that ignition, and you don't have to be on solar to take advantage of this class item mod. This is universal, guys, as the artifact mod itself is what's causing the ignition on stun. Now, Les was also rocking with the Horde, which again, with Star class is so good as it does damage over time, and this of course contributes to feeding you fusion grenade energy as it counts for empowered weapon damage when standing in an empowering rift or a well of radiance. Now, the mods I'm taking advantage of include that of Withering Heat and Solar Fulmination. Solar Fulmination allows my initiations to do increased damage in an increased radius, and Withering Heat applies a very nice debuff against champions, and that's with any solar ability damage, whether it's my melee from our finger snap or my grenade. And considering we have so many grenades, throwing these on these champions pretty much makes them easy kills after applying that debuff. I was also taking advantage of Last Perdition to help out with barrier champions, and again, if you have a Void Pulse Rifle, look in your vault to also take advantage of that Void Burn. And briefly kind of just going over Star class, every time we get explosive damage kills, which is a variety of things, guys, we spawn a solar elemental well. I'm also taking advantage of Bountiful Wells, which spawns 2 of them, and in the process, every time we pick up these wells, it gives us Well of Life for that increase in regeneration. And in GMs, it's kind of hard to kind of push up to grab those wells, so I have Seeking Wells that allows the wells to come to me. Again, extra survivability. Now, some people, you may not want to go with Withering Heat, and you may want to just swap that out for Classy Restoration, considering you're not taking advantage of a healing rift, but an empowering rift. And originally, that's what I was using. But as you get more comfortable with this Nightfall, feel free to just go balls deep on offense and rock something like Withering Heat. But again, only as you become more comfortable. Now, to kind of make up for the fact that Les and I both are rocking empowering rifts, Bombad was actually using the Stag. This, of course, was giving us lots of healing rifts. He also had Feed the Void, as well as Child of the Old Gods, and his fragments include Echo of Leeching, Echo of Expulsion, Echo of Obscurity, and Echo of Undermining. This, of course, added debuffs, which really helped us here when we weren't proccing things like Withering Heat. Again, dim links to the Star class build will be in the description if you want to just load into that. Now, let's talk about this Nightfall and how to make it quick. Again, 8 minutes, 33 seconds was our best run, and we're going to attempt to even bring that down even lower. But the Nightfall opens up, guys, with you just sparing through, and when you come through here, you're going to be met with 2 goblins and a barrier champion. Now, sometimes this barrier champion will instantly TP away, but there was like one time throughout all of these Nightfall runs that the champion just stood there. So make sure he does TP away, and if he doesn't, make sure you kill him, as you want to get platinum on these Nightfalls for that guaranteed adept drop. Now, if he does TP away, he'll actually meet meet you right out here next to this other champion. And there'll also be a Void Minotaur coming around the backside. Deal with these guys. You'll move up. You'll have some ads, some hobgoblins, which will still melt you, so be careful. And deal with the champion that's up in this cubby, and then push on through. Now, when you push on through, you're going to see 2 Vex versus 2 Cabal. Drop some Geo shots, throw a nade if you want to, and then move up. I would actually move up to the left side right here of this pillar, and you're going to see a barrier champion, a number of ads that spawn out. And I would just open up with a single galley shot. And all you have to kill in this room is that barrier champion. Somebody did recommend rocking Omni Hunter and simply invising your team and running all the way across. You can do that, and it would save you time, but really we weren't melting that much time doing it the way we were doing it. We just had to kill the initial ads, kill the champion, and then just scoot on past them. Now, when you run down through here, you're going to be met with these explosive goblins, and then you're going to see the boss standing in the center. Now, you're going to have to bait the boss to stomp or to actually like shoot that void orb into the ground, and then the boss will TP away. You'll then post up, and you're going to have some gladiators start to spawn in, as well as some dogs. My only suggestion when everything is spawning in, let them kind of step out from behind that barrier, because there are times that they'll sit back there and they can just tank a lot more damage because not everything is hitting them. Sometimes a dog would even get stuck, which would mess up the spawn of the unstoppable champions. And if that's the case, just be patient. You still want to hang back and deal with those champions before moving on. And honestly, if you're rocking Star Class, especially with things like Withering Heat, you're going to instantly melt them. Now, pushing on through, this area is pretty much going to be the primary area you're going to be in throughout this Nightfall. I actually like to place a well right out here in the open. Now, the reason why I like to put my well right here is you get a visual sight on pretty much everything that's spawning, including the champions, which allows you and your team to focus that champion. Now, before you get too deep into dealing with all these ads, someone on your team needs to pop a few shots in the boss. What this does is this will make the boss TP away yet again, and it will also initiate the next spawn of ads. So yes, it's a little more chaotic because a lot of ads are going to be spawning in, but at the same time, you're taking advantage and overlapping these waves of ads while only using one well. And you'll just be chilling out there, killing these champions as they spawn in and all of these ads. And I do suggest even the red bar ads, take your time, deal with them together before pushing up. Now, someone needs to go up and grab the ball, and you're going to have to place this at the end here, but you're going to have a barrier champion as well as a number of gladiators that is guarding it. I like to actually move up here to the left side and just jump up where the gladiators can't reach me and throw a solar ability on them, get them ignited, get them burning, get Withering Heat going, and do heavy damage here. Now, upon placing that ball in there, this will spawn the next wave of ads. Now, you're going to bring your Well of Radiance back there to the middle, but instead of going where we were originally at, I want you to just drop it right here. The reason why you want to put it right here is you're going to be able to see the champions that are coming in on top of you, but at the same time, you're going to be able to take advantage of that Well of Radiance when killing the champs close to the doorway that you're trying to unlock. Now, this is chaotic. Take advantage of those fusion nades. Literally fusion nade everything. You want to be primarily getting fusion nade kills, even on trash ads, more than spending time getting weapon kills. Now, you're going to deal with these champions and then deal with the barrier champions that are near the doorway. Simultaneously, when you go to pick up the orb here, another champion will spawn. It'll be a barrier right there on top of you, so be very careful. If you're too close, it will kill you. But deal with this barrier champion and then proceed to move up. And if you did everything correctly, the only thing that's going to be up here is just like a single gladiator, which you don't even have to kill. Now, upon opening the door, you're going to have a number of explosive goblins. Feel free to just drop a geo shot in there and just move past them, guys. You don't have to waste your time with them. They will melt you though, so I do suggest throwing something over there, whether it's a single grenade, anything to just get the kill off and get them off your back. Now, push on down and you're going to make your way to the boss room. You have some more explosive goblins to deal with, but as you're coming into the boss room, you'll notice a number of Vex down low with the boss. What you ideally want to do is shoot a single shot from your grenade launcher. In my case, I shot a rocket off, pretty much anything, just to kind of pop some shots in and everything. And that way, when the boss does its slam and kills everything, you'll get points for everything. Now, granted, you don't really need the extra points, but it's just nice. But proceed to move up and you're going to go directly to the middle plate. Now, the boss is going to be up in the air with that immunity field around him, and a number of ads are going to start to pour out. Upon capturing this plate, Kargan will then drop down and will no longer be immune. And this is when you want to open up with all your damage with Well of Radiance, a galley shot, and again, whoever the galley user is, space out your rocket shots. All you're really trying to do is grant Wolfpack rounds for your teammates. So we're really not trying to get crazy with damage here, but continue doing damage until Kargan goes back into the air, and this will actually unlock all 3 plates to be captured. Now, in the past, we used to try to do one at a time, but guys, this is a nightmare. Everyone needs to split. Everyone needs to go to a different plate, and you need to try to capture them immediately. Now, help each other out. Deal with everything that's pushing you. Take advantage of your super if necessary. Bombad would actually use his Nova Bomb over there to secure his plate if he needed. And upon capturing all 3 of these plates, if you get to them quick enough, you're going to start to see a downpour of ads, but Kargan will also be able to be damaged. Unload on her, him, her, I don't know. Unload on him, because these ads will continuously keep pouring. If if you try to focus these ads, you're going to be killing them all day long, guys. So again, unload on Kargan, all the rockets, all the galley shots, all the fusions. And the beautiful thing about Star Class is, again, every time I'm jumping up and throwing a fusion rifle grenade on them and then following up with like a geo shot or a rocket, this of course is giving me more grenade energy. So it keeps that DPS flowing. This was by far our best run. Again, guys, good luck to everyone that is grinding for the God Roll DFA. Now, we've already given a review of the DFA in its base form, but I really think that depth form is going to surprise us. So be looking out for that review this week as well. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.